Welcome back. We have a new episode of
But you forgot the name.
I forgot what Bourbon, Cigars, and Conversation. Welcome back. We here at another episode of Bourbon, Cigars, and Conversation. You have myself, Mose. You have on my left right here.
Yeah, I have Tim right here.
Right, Tim right here. And today we're going to be talking about exactly what today, Tim?
We're going to be talking about two new bourbons. This one I can't wait to try. And what do you have over there?
Today
First,
I have Jefferson very small batch. It's a very nice price point. Has some decent notes to it. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. But it goes down very smooth.
And I got the E.H. Taylor, the Colonel E.H. Taylor. You see me staring at it. Because this is a hard find right here. Definitely a hard find. So we're going to taste that too.
And what you going to be smoking on today, Tim?
What I will be smoking on, let me reach across you. I'm going to do the Amor La Cuba. It's Dominican.
Okay.
Dominican filler and wrapper.
Okay. Today, I'm doing the Perdomo Sun Grow 10-year anniversary. I'm trying something new. I'm trying to step up my palate, something a little bit stronger. Normally, I go with a mild and medium. I normally smoke the Perdomo Champagne 10th anniversary, so I got a suggestion to step my game up, so we're going to do that today.
And then we're going to have some conversation about whatever. But first, let's crack these open.
Crack these open, of course.
And I'll tell you a little about this. This is Bond and Bourbon.
Bond and Bourbon.
Bourbon and Bond.
Bourbon and Bond. So what does that mean?
It means that when it's made, it was aged at least 4 years and it has to be 100 proof.
Okay.
Before they can even sell it. So we're going to get on that. You pour those for me. Maybe I should have did a test run of this, right?
Has a nice aroma to it. Well, I'm a big fan of Jefferson's myself. My favorite is the Jefferson's Casket Reserve. I also like the Jefferson's Ocean Cut.
One of those.
Here you go, my brother.
Thank you, my brother.
Which one we going to do first? Let me pour. Oh, you right? Instantly. I don't know if you see it, Tim, but you can see a difference in the color. Notice the difference in the color?
I
The
do.
Taylor has a darker color.
Darker caramel color. But which one you doing first?
Check the aroma.
Let's do the Jeffersons
Do
first.
the Jefferson's first, not a problem.
Let's see what you smell. I forgot to mention we had La Luga's
La Luga.
Cigar Lounge in Philadelphia. I smell fruit.
To me, I smell. I'm trying to think. I don't know what fruit I smell.
Like pears.
I think more peaches. I smell more of a citrus smell.
Cinnamon. Well, we're about to find out. Let's taste it.
Goes down pretty smoothly. Sweetness to it.
Smooth. It got a little bite to it, though.
A small bite, not
A little bite.
not as harsh as I don't like the bite that Creek has. It's nothing like that. It has a little bite to it.
Okay, so question.
Yes.
Your favorite cocktail?
My favorite cocktail. So, to be honest, my favorite cocktail is a margarita, but we're talking about bourbon here.
Yes, we're talking about bourbon.
I was a big fan of old fashions,
Okay.
and I got a story behind it. So, I was in New Orleans last summer,
Okay.
and with my buddies, we did a guys trip, So I ordered. I forgot the name of the restaurant. I ordered an old fashioned. Now, she made my old fashioned, but she messed it up for me because she muddled it. She muddled the orange. Instead of just giving me my pill, she
Yeah.
muddled it.
Okay.
That ruined old fashioned. And now I have pulp.
One
from the
bad
orange.
extension.
One bad experience. So I check out our spot, Morgan's Barbecue. I just start drinking Manhattans.
So you just plugged them in there.
I did plug
So
them in.
you got to finish it. Morgan's Barbecue.
Morgan's
Where are they
Barbecue,
located?
King of Prussia.
King of Prussia,
So,
Pennsylvania.
My favorite now is a Manhattan. I like
And what bourbon would you use with that
my
Manhattan?
favorite, Angel's Envy Manhattan. Gotta have 3 cherries though. 3 cherries. That's my drink.
Okay. So
my
now we're
favorite
going to go
cocktail.
on to the Colonel. I've been looking for this, so let's see what we're working with. Cherries,
That's definitely cherries.
apple,
I think so.
caramel.
You don't think nutmeg, maybe?
I mean, we're not going to have the same notes.
True.
Let's see what it tastes like.
That did go down a lot better.
Wow.
And it's very flavorful.
Wow.
Very flavorful.
Let me say it one more time. Wow.
This would probably make an awesome old fashioned.
I am an old-fashioned guy.
This will probably make an awesome old fashioned. I can see this very well with with some bitters.
Wow.
This will make it perfect old fashioned with the bitters, that orange peel.
Okay, so a little bit about bourbon. I was doing a little research, which I did not realize.
Okay, holla at me, brother.
Bourbon, brandy, and whiskey phased out in the late 60s. Everybody started drinking vodkas,
Okay.
different vodkas. And then, the 80s, 90s, 2000 was more flavored vodkas, your Cirocs, your effing vodka.
What is it? Was there a specific reason why they phased out?
Everybody thought bourbon was for old people. They thought it was for old people, so they didn't want to drink it. Started making a comeback in the late 2000s. When I mean by late, I'm talking about
For the last
2013.
10, yeah, for the last 10 years.
Okay. I'm gonna have a V cut with this.
Absolutely. Hit me up as well.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna do the V cut as well.
Torch is there.
Age before beauty.
I'll take that. Most people, well, cigars, you do different cuts depending on how you feel. My pre-light is counterclockwise. Like I said, we're at La Luga's Cigar Lounge in Philadelphia. Laid out spot.
Off of Delaware Avenue.
You can hear the music in the background.
Nice spot to check out.
Watch,
Chill.
watch the game.
the game. Great atmosphere.
Now we get into the conversation. Conversation. We talked about this once before. Building wealth. Building black wealth. Building wealth. Saving for your retirement. Enjoying life at the same time. You don't want to be a stick in the mud.
That's funny. Today, among some colleagues, we had a conversation. Actually talking about a little bit about drinking and smoking cigars. A friend of mine was speaking to a younger group of guys talking about you gotta enjoy life. He asked me he hang out at the Ashton bar. He said, what's the most expensive drink we had at one time? I really didn't say. He said it was him. He had a $300 shot with a cigar at the Ashton bar. The way I think now, to me, I wouldn't do that because I think $300 in one shot, that's $300 worth of stock, or $300 I can put through an investment for myself or for my kids and for my family later in life. Me 5-10 years ago would have been like all in, like whatever. I'm only going to live once, so I'm going to enjoy it. Now, I'm not saying I can't tell no one how to use or spend their money, but I believe in our community sometimes we're all about doing what's here right now, and that's not always the best thing for us.
Here right now meaning what though?
Like only live once mentality. Like I got it.
Okay, so like I only live once, so I'm gonna go out and get that car that I want.
That car. I'm gonna go get that $1,000 sneakers. I'm gonna go get that Louis Vuitton belt, that Hermes belt. Like,
but you are a sneakerhead though.
I am a sneakerhead, but I'm a wise sneakerhead. I buy my sneakers for two purposes. Some pairs I say I'm gonna hold and sell once they appreciate, and then some I wear because, of course, I like the shoe. But also I had to learn to limit myself to how many pairs I was gonna buy a month. First it was how many pairs I was gonna buy a month, then how many pairs I was gonna buy a quarter, to now how many pairs I'm allowing myself for a year. Because I have some moves I'm trying to make in my life right now to set myself up for when I hit my 50s.
Well,
I got a little long way to go.
I mean, I'm there. I'm there, but I'm still learning.
There's always so much to learn.
I'm still growing.
Absolutely. When it comes to finance and economics, there's so many different ways to skin a cat. You can go into cryptocurrency, you can go to stocks, you can go to bonds, you can go into real estate, you can go into commercial real estate, you can go into foreign exchange. Like, there's so many ways to invest your money. You just have to feel what's comfortable for you and what you're willing to afford to lose, because you never know. Even with the real estate market, the stock market, the cryptocurrency, like the last month, things got real rocky in the stock market. We had a significant drop in the NASDAQ 500 and the S&P. So now things are a little bit bouncing back. Like crypto went from almost 50,000 to back into the 30,000. That's a major significant drop, almost 15 to 20,000. So it's always a risk, but you just have to make calculated risk.
But some people don't want to take it. For instance, you mentioned in crypto, people in similar circles as ours, same age group, similar in careers. It doesn't matter the career, any type of career. A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't know about taking that risk.
Well,
they want to play it safe and be like, listen, I'm going to put a certain amount of money in a savings account and let it build and build interest on that, rather than play with the stocks.
To me, that's the worst mistake a person can make. The reason being, I don't work for the money. I want my money to work for me. Okay. Whenever you put your money in a savings account or a checking account, you get
exactly what you put in.
No, a year from the bank, you get exactly 0.045% return on your investment. If you would put your money into an ETF, within 3 to 5 years, you'll get 10% return on your investment. So that means your money is working for you instead of you working for your money. Okay. It's been consistent like that for the last 10, 15 years.
So on that note, like for instance, I was in deferred comp. I'm back in it. But at one time, I stopped it because in 2008, when I lost so much money.
Housing market crash.
And I felt that wasn't doing me any good. So I put a pause on it. And I would say in the last year and a half, I took the pause off and let it grow.
So you put a pause from 2008 until now.
I would say
How much money do you think you've lost?
I've lost a lot.
A lot. We're talking about
I mean, I put a lot in, but I've lost a lot.
But I'm telling you, if you were to do your math, you probably up anywhere between, you probably lost between $30,000 to $60,000 gain that you can have in your account right now.
This is true.
Easy.
That's why I mentioned it. Because I'm back in it, but I know at the same time, I can't recoup that. I can only start from where I started.
Yeah, as long as you do something is better than nothing, which is always true. But what I've learned over time and what I've seen and what I've studied, who I've studied right from Elon Musk to Warren Buffett to Steve Jobs to Puff Daddy to Jay-Z. You're only going to make money when you make risk. And I know people don't want to make risk or make mistakes, but that's when you learn. You only learn, you got to learn to pick yourself up. very rarely somebody gets on a bike and rides a bike right away without training wheels. You're gonna fall, you're gonna get up, you're gonna get back on the bike. Whenever you're dealing, you can do a real estate deal. Not every deal is a good deal. You might have termites in your house. So now you gotta think about, now you gotta spend more money out your pocket. Yes, it's a way to avoid it by different inspections, but that's something you didn't expect to happen. So plumbing might be bad, electrician might be bad, you might not have no copper. It's always, whenever you invest your money, it's always going to be some type of risk. Some risks are minute, some risks are gigantic.
And why you say that?
Huh?
For your family?
Why do I say it?
No, I'm saying in general. I say it because I want my children to do better than I am.
But you're not going to get generational wealth by saving. You get generational wealth by making business risk.
That's how you get it.
There's many ways to leverage your money.
I would say one thing, a quarter through the cigar, it's tight.
It's smooth.
It tastes good.
It
Tastes good, but I have to keep lighting it. And if I have to keep lighting it, that means it's tight to me.
For the pool,
Yeah, the pull.
it's perfect. No issues.
The reason I'm bringing all this up, because we both have children. I have boys, you have a boy and girl. I want to see the kids do better. Education-wise, financially wise, and just the whole life experience. Some things that I went through, I don't want them to go through.
That's true. That comes early. About 3 years ago, this is what I did with my kids. I gave my kids the words out the financial dictionary, meaning I will give them a word. I'll tell them, give me the definition of stock. I'm a stock. I'll give it to them Monday. They have till Friday to memorize it. If they memorize, they got $10. The reason, just because you could say these words, you could say return on your investment, ETF, extended tax fund, stocks, bonds. It doesn't. You can know the word. You have to know the meaning of the word, how to utilize those words, because I'm putting the thought in their mind early. So after I did that, a friend of mine put me onto an app called Stockpile. Stockpile gives you a custodial account to buy stocks for your children. Now I allow my children to pick their stocks. They get a certain amount of money into their account. They pick the stocks and I approve it. I let them learn from their mistakes. Also, what I did earlier, I opened what they call a 529 from my account, which is almost similar to a deferred account. You put money into an account, they put it in the market. You decide if you want to go moderate, high risk, aggressive. Now that my son just turned 18 2 weeks ago, I got him what they call an Acorn account. So an Acorn account is you connect it to your debit card. If you spend $8, they're gonna round it up to $10, and it's gonna go into an investment account. Also, he's gonna do $5 a week automatic deduction out of his account. So when I tell my son, if you do this, you're 18. If you do this when you hit my age, depending on the market, you might have $500,000 to $1 million in your account just off of this, and everything else that I plan on doing to make sure he's set up. By the time he starts to have children, that my grandkids are going to be set up just as well. So my daughter is the same age, 18. She's going to open up an Acorn account. She has her Stockpile account. She's doing the same thing. She doesn't watch the market as my son watches it, but she watches it. And I let my kids pick what they like. So my son, of course, he got an iPhone. He's going to invest in an iPhone. He got Nikes. He wears Jordans. He's going to invest in Nike. He's investing. So one thing about investing in Nike, they pay their dividends. So his money is working for him. Or well, the money that I'm giving him is working for him.
Well, that's smart. Getting involved early. Young people smart. I like the taste. I just don't like
Cool.
And we did discuss this at one time. How you, first of all, you smoke a cigar. Are you doing anything? And what I mean by that is, are you just sit back, relax, not doing anything, sipping and smoking and enjoying the cigar? Or are you working? Are you fishing? Or are you doing something?
Normally I'm chilling back. Normally I'm by myself. I'm not by myself. I'm with friends like such as yourself that smoke. And normally we just sitting outside or at a lounge like this, smoking, relaxing, talking grown men or adult talk, depending on the group that you're around. You're around men and women, we have adult talk. You're around men, we have adult talk or grown man talk. Excuse me. Because to me, this is a very relaxing and soothing thing to do, smoking cigars. It's a time to unwind, to just clear your head, clear your mind through the week or through that day. Whether you might have an issue at work, or your wife or your girl or your kids might be stressing you. You just want to just chill you out, mellows you out.
Yeah.
So it's always good to be able to let things out, like let it out. Like people have different avenues. I like to go to the gym to release my stress or clear my mind. And sometimes I don't get enough. Sometimes I might go to the gym. It may not sound like the best. After the gym, I'm like, man, let me just smoke a cigar, have a light little drink. I sit outside my backyard. Right now, I like to have my fire pit, look at the stars, and listen to some music. Normally Bob Marley, because Bob is my guy, and fall back. What about yourself?
I was going to ask that. Like, when I smoke a cigar, when I sip bourbon, yeah, I can do it in a social event, but I enjoy doing it in relaxing. I don't have to worry about anything. Like you said, on a patio, just kick back, playing good music. May it be my old school hip hop, may it be my house music, may it be jazz, Bob, like you said, which is definitely relaxing, Sade or something like that, and enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Some people like working and smoking. That's what they like to do. But definitely relaxing and doing it. And the reason I ask that, because a lot of people think that smoking cigars is nasty. It's for old people. It's too expensive. And that's why I brought it up. Just to touch base with you or somebody that does it. Like you said, when you go to Miami or wherever you might go, you go to a different cigar lounge. Now, I go to different cigar lounges. May it be like this one in Philly. I go to some in Jersey. I go to some in Harlem. And every lounge is different. The people are different. The atmosphere is different. But at the same time, there's something in common that you can network and enjoy with others that do the same.
That's the great part about it. You can really network. You might have a conversation, somebody be asking, like, what you smoking there? You tell them what you smoking, what you sipping on. You never know who you'll meet in the cigar lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You might come here one day, you might see Lou Williams or Allen Iverson or Charles Barkley in a location like this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might see somebody in the corporate world that's just chilling. You might make a connection. You never know. That's the great thing, because everybody has their different palates, what they want, different gauges they like to smoke. Some people just might want a quick smoke just to get it out the way. Some people might want a long, dragged out smoke, a 2-3 hour smoke, so they can just really relax and just be not what the young people say in their bag. So it all depends on what you want. The other great thing about smoking is that it helps you figure out where you at in your life, in the sense like you get time to reflect and look to the future. You can do that reading a book sometimes or just in the house, but the fact that you're relaxing, you can focus on what your thoughts are. Sometimes I smoke and I read a book. I'm outside in my backyard, I got my book, I'm reading. Sometimes, and it just depends on what you want to do, how you feel.
Well, you being a fellow law enforcement worker, you understand the stresses and the pressure that you have at work, and the different personalities and different situations. This balances it for me. Sometimes when I get off work, before I drive off, I sit in the car with nothing, no music, no nothing, just catch my senses and reflect on the day. but I love coming home to this.
Just reflecting. Just talking about what you're talking about. Back to finances. I think it's very imperative for us in the black and brown community to learn about economic and financial freedom, because we need it. It is a must, a necessity for us to close that wealth gap towards our white counterparts. It is imperative.
But you know, a lot of people is not on this platform. I have to watch how I say it or how I put it. But a lot of people is not on that same level.
I think that just takes time and teaching and understanding and patience. Sometimes I get that way where I can be very strong-headed in my opinions, but my opinions are never to hurt or be malicious. They're always
That's what I want to
teach and engage, and just start the conversation
or anything like that.
Yeah, because sometimes some of my friends and my cousins have told me I come off like I'm better than them. It's not that I'm better than them, and it's not that I'm trying to control your money, but I'm trying to. When I try to educate or have a conversation about economics or finances, it's that I'm doing this so I can help you get to a better space, whether you want to or not. You might not want to do it today, but tomorrow. In my experience at the job, I started getting into stocks. I put about 4 or 5 people. They paid it forward and put another 4 or 5 people. So now it's a lot of young people that's investing their money. And that made me feel good because I'm not getting paid for it, and I don't want to get. I didn't do it to get paid. I didn't do it to throw it in somebody's face. I did it to I cared. I paid it forward, and I wanted them to pay it forward, and they've done that. So that makes me feel good that I'm educating people that look like me on how to make money, have their money work for them. One thing I'm a big advocate for is buying black, and you know that because I'm always on you about buying black.
Listen.
And a lot of people make it.
Wait. So the people know I'm with that. I promote black businesses. I love black and brown, and I will buy black and brown. But me and you had these conversations before. Certain things, because I'm old school, so certain things.
You gotta break them social norms, man.
Can I finish?
Yeah, you can finish.
Can I finish? Certain things I'm used to and was brought up on. Like, for instance, my age, I'm in my 50s. My birthday just passed. I would say it. I'm 54. And I'm blessed to be that. And I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. And I've also grew up with a lot. Hip hop, for instance, when I was young, was just starting. So I was through those ages when we was breakdancing in the hallways of school, and going to the concerts at school, and going to different clubs that was just up and coming, the rooftops and the Union Squares and Latin Quarters and the Rink and Club Sensations. All of that is in me, and it will always be in me, and I will always listen to it. There's no age limit on it. Now, the newer stuff, I admit, I'm not too much down with the newer stuff. I like some of the stuff I hear, but I'm an old school person. I have old tendencies and old habits, but I'm willing to learn at the same time. So, go on with the buying black.
For me, it's about, for us, like for certain demographics like to buy high-end clothes.
Okay.
And I understand that. But that high-end clothes got popular off the back of hip-hop, specifically in New York, Dapper Dan. And
What Dapper Dan?
What Dapper Dan was doing in New York City in the 80s and early 90s.
Correct.
Right?
That's the style that spin the block, and now they're doing the same thing that they was doing in the 80s.
So, but they shunned them. Those brands shunned them. They gave them cease and desist orders for taking the material and designing jackets, designing shirts, and everything like that. If let's say Dapper Dan would have did that with his own clothing line, his own brand, who's to say that Dapper Dan couldn't have a clothing line at the same level as a Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Valentino or Balenciaga or MCM? Like, that's the problem. If we don't support black brands, we can't get to the level of our white counterparts. I'm not saying don't buy white counterparts of their brands, whatever the brand. It could be a bag, it could be phones, it could be computers. But for us to get to that level and close the wealth gap.
So what black brand that you can plug right now that people can go online and look at and see some of the work.
You'll see Milano. That's a brand here made in Philly. A young black woman in Philadelphia. It's doing pretty well. It's at a decent price point. That's how I would say support. I don't see why not. She's getting a lot of support, but we gotta like. I grew up in the 2000s, right? When I grew up, we had a lot of rappers that had Cobra. We had Sean John, you had Rockaware, you had Jabos, Anichi, Academics. But those brands, Rockaware and Sean John are kind of maybe sticking around, but nobody really wears that.
You know the story behind that?
With Sean John or Rockaware?
No, some of the brands you mentioned.
No, I just remember them growing up. Mecca, Fubu, Carl Kanai, like those brands are gone, and I don't understand why.
I'm going to give you a brief story. In the mid to late 80s, I'm using New York for example. A lot of people in New York wore polo, they wore Nautica, they wore Puma and Adidas and stuff like that. Now, Averex and stuff like that. Now, some of the other states at that time wasn't privy to those brands. So that's how they started making Sean Johns and the Rockaware and everything.
Yeah, the Moses Malone.
Maurice
Malone, excuse me.
To reach those demographics in those other states that wasn't used to what we was wearing, and they made it into a hip hop wear, or urban wear. But it was no such thing as urban wear in the 80s. It was what we wore. So those name brands became urban wear, and here we are. If that makes sense to you.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. But it's like those brands are not around from what I see. I could be wrong, but maybe I don't see it. Or I don't see the young kids wearing those brands.
What are they wearing?
Wearing the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, MCM.
The same stuff that you was just talking about.
That's what they're wearing. Like, to me, hip-hop pushes the culture. Right? When I mean the culture, I just don't mean hip-hop culture, I mean pop culture in America. Whatever the young artists in hip hop are wearing, everywhere is wearing. Whether you black, you brown, you Asian, you China, you yellow, whatever is being worn in hip hop, the youth are wearing. Because hip hop pushes the culture, pushes pop culture in America and around the world. So we have the power. That shows you that we, people of color, have the power to push the culture into whatever direction we see fit to push that culture. If you look at right now, the culture right now is podcasts. Your top 20 podcasters come from what community? The hip hop community. Whether it's $1 million for game, whether it's Drink Champs, whether it's Knuckleheads, whether it's all the smoke, it comes back to what? Hip hop culture. We push the culture.
We do.
We set the path and everybody follows behind us.
We do.
So I'm pushing for the culture to push supporting black brands. That's all I'm saying. Our money got to be recycled in our community. Everybody makes money off our community except for us. Now it's time for us to make money off of our community, other people's community. That's all I'm saying. I got nothing against the other communities, but everybody eats off of our community except for us.
That's why I have this young brother with me. You go
to any hood. I don't care whether you go to New Orleans, whether you go to Miami, whether you go to Philly, you go to Baltimore, Detroit, LA, San Francisco. You go any black and brown hood, especially a black hood, and you're gonna see Asian stores, Arabian stores. Now in today's time, how many black mom and pop stores do you see?
You want me to answer that? I don't see that many.
We got.
I don't.
Think about our sisters. A lot of them wear weaves. I got nothing against weaves. Who owns those stores they buying these weaves from? It ain't people that look like us. What sisters that make? Nothing against that demographic.
You're going to take it into a political thing.
No, it's not a political thing.
I'm going to tell you what I seen just yesterday. I went into a Jamaican restaurant. I won't mention the restaurant. I'm not even going to mention where it is. But they wasn't West Indies that was working there.
Well, we have different gamers that are in the West Indies now, though.
I'm just saying.
But that doesn't make sense.
Well, just like you go into any urban neighborhood, and you'll find a Crown fried chicken that serves macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, collard greens, mashed.
It ain't how grandma make it.
Yeah, sweet potato pies, but
It ain't how grandma
who's working there?
It ain't people that look like you and I. They don't even hire. The thing is, these businesses don't even hire people that their consumer, their number one consumer. They don't even hire. They don't give them jobs.
And I'm gonna say, by no means am I putting any race down or anything. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying what I see.
Exactly. And that's all we can do is say. I'm not knocking the race, but I'm saying is, if you are in our community and you living off our dollars, you should be able to employ our people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking anybody.
Well,
I'm saying it is what it is.
The conversation was deep. We gotta save this for another episode. But what I will do this. From 1 to 10, the Jeffersons, would you put it in your collection, your bourbon collection, and what would you rate it?
This specific Jefferson's, I will rate this between a 5-6, and I will put this I will put it on my collection for when my homies come over. Nothing special, like when I'm having a special event, I will have the cash to reserve now for a special event. But just
would that be in your collection?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Colonel Taylor definitely would be.
Definitely. That's a 10. That's something that only come out.
You see this bottle right
here
here?
And there.
We'll probably take a couple more sips, but I'm gonna have to get another bottle just for the collection that won't be open. So I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
8.5?
I'm not giving it a 10.
I gotta give it a 10.
You're gonna give that a 10? Well, we do have different palates. 8.5. The Jeffersons, 5.5.
5.5?
Yeah, because they both are smooth. They both have a little bite. They both have a fruity taste to it that makes it more acceptable.
But the Colonel Taylor just hits you. Like that's very flavorful.
And I'll get into the cognacs another time. But bourbon, you definitely want to enjoy it. It's not to gulp, or it's not to take shots of. It's to sip. You can get a doubles of bourbon, and you can sip on that with a cigar, and it will last you. True?
Very true.
So we're going to end this bourbon cigars conversation. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell others, share. So anything you want to add?
Until next time, bourbon cigars and conversation. See you later.
Peace.